Hi, this is Ricky Sun. I'm a Pi consultant. In this video, I'm going to talk about three levels of authentication to the Pi Data Archive so that you can get data from the Pi server. And I want to start off with a screenshot. So this screenshot is the Pi SDK utility from a configuration there. And you can press like connection option and then you will get this windows, right? And this windows, normally people don't change that. What I want you to pay attention is like this protocol order. So the three level authentication are Windows security, Pi trust, and then default users. If you check this box, which I see a lot of people check that box because they are using Pi users or they are in a different domain. If their computer is on a different domain and try to get to the Pi server, they might need to check that box so that they can type in the username password, either Windows account on the Pi servers or a Pi users on the Pi server as well. Maybe start with the Windows security. The Windows security is, I guess, is modern latest technologies. From these examples, you have three, right? Windows authentication is the most secure to get data from Pi. All you need is log in to your computers, right? Once you log into your computers, assuming you are in a domain, right? Let's say you are in my company, then your domain would be sun, and then slash, and then the username. And then you are going to use that login to authenticate to the Pi server. There are a couple ways you can do authenticate to the Pi servers. I think the most common way is you can ask IT to create a domain group and then add your account in there. So when you have your account in the group, let's say that group is called like Sunleak Technology Admin, then you can map the Sunleak Technology group into your Pi server with permission in the Pi server. So what's the benefit of this? IT could take over some of your work. So let's say when new people coming in wanted to admin the Pi server, you just have to ask IT to add that user into the domain level. Pi admin doesn't have to do the work. But the other way, right? Let's say I have a Sun account with like rsun/rsun. That's my account, my Ricky. If the other approach would be you do a mapping of your account in the Pi server, so it has some permission. But what you have to remember is if you do that, doing independent account every time, right? Let's say people come and go, you have a lot of work, right? Just for administration. You cannot really delegate your task to IT to support you. And as an administrator, you are always listening who want to get access, and then you have to remove people from access. The other thing I wanted to say, right? It's like people left, and sometimes you don't even know that person left, right? Like assuming you have a lot of people in using your Pi server data. If you just add people into your Pi servers, then when people left, it will become like a SID. It become an ID, GUI ID that you don't even understand because that person is left. IT deleted your account. Delete their account. You see like a bunch of numbers and then you like, oh, who is that? That person probably left. So the benefit to use group is you don't have to do so much. And then I highly recommend using Windows Security. Windows Security authenticate people log in and then they are able to access the Pi server data with like just single sign on. With when they are using data link Excel, they could get data quickly without typing username password. Okay, the second level of authentication, Pi Trust. We commonly use Pi Trust for Pi interface because it is like you usually have interface on a different domain. So it's not really a Windows authenticated. If interface servers and the Pi server are on different domain, PyTrust may be the way to go, maybe the easiest way to go, because you can specify the IP of the interface and the interface application name that kind of say, okay, Pi server, if you are seeing this IP and application name from the interface, please accept that to authenticate. So you can allow write data, right? You're trying to write data to Pi, that's the interface. But recently, right, I think it's not recent, but this like long time ago, there is Pi API with Windows or integrated security. API, once you install that software package, Pi API, you cannot use PyTrust anymore because it disabled that machine to allow PyTrust. Then you have to use Windows security. And to use Windows security, it's a little more complicated, but you have to use credential managers. So you log into your account, then you log in from your interface machine, and then you open up credential managers and type in username password of your Pi server have permission. It doesn't matter if Pi server is in a domain or without in a domain, but credential manager could let you map an account that has permission in the Pi server, so that when you type in the user as a service, like it's a service account, right? You can call it service account in your interface. That account, when you log in and then have credential managers, it will have a permission in the Pi server as well, so that we can write data to Pi or read some of the information from module database. So that is PyTrust. Generally, I think OSIsoft or Aviva try make you not use PyTrust. The third level I want to talk about is default users, which is below PyTrust. Explicit login or default users is not recommended by Aviva or OSIsoft. Why? To my perspective is, if you try to use the default users or Pi users, you really have to lower your security. So here's what I mean. In order to use explicit login, we have to lower the bar below the default. If you lower the bar here, it means disable explicit login for PyAdmin, right? PyAdmin is a Pi user. That means like you can still use Pi users, but not PyAdmin, right? Like you can create a Pi guy and then Pi guy with a password. You are allowed to use explicit login. But if you lower the bar here, go a little bit further, low to level, it means you can use explicit login for PyAdmin. And then it means, I think this is the powerful account. If hacker know you have explicit login enabled for PyAdmin, they can try your password many times until they crack it, and then your Pi server is in their control. I think I saw people using blank password as well. So if you lower the bar all the way to the bottom, if you go for PyAdmin with blank password, then that will be very bad, because everyone who access PySMT, like system management tool or anything, they can program something, or then they have a PyAdmin, right? They can do a lot of stuff in the Pi server. My general recommendation, if you don't really know what you're doing, just consult with the expert. I mean, whoever it is, right? In your opinion, Pi users, it's not secure because I think you have to ask Pi administrator to create your account as well. So they have to send you the password, and you cannot really reset the password because the password is set in the Pi server. Even harder than a local user's account to reset password. So we have just talked about 3 levels of authentication. You try the Windows security first, and then PyTrust, and then Pi users. And then, highly recommend you use Windows users, and it's not that hard. Just have to know what you're doing. Consult with documentation or people, right? Hire somebody that can teach you how to do the security properly, so you don't have to use Pi users with PyAdmin with blank password. That's the worst. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. I'll see you next week. Bye.